Wait until you see the technicals that I have to share with you in this video. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education, and if you take a ruler and measure from your thumb to your pinky, and it happens to be 12 inches across, you might just find out that your hand is really a foot. All right, we're going to take a look at Google, Apple, and Tesla in this video, along with a little bit the indices, and we'll also comment on NVIDIA as well. And then also I will tell you later in this video where you can see my buys and sells, about my options course, and about where you can learn to do technical analysis. In the meantime, I want to put up the charts for you. We're going to start off with SPY, go over to QQQ, talk about NVIDIA's impact on those, and then get into the technicals of the charts. So let me put up the charts for you. And like I said, we'll start off with SPY on this. So tracking the S&P 500, NVIDIA pumped us back up from below this trend line for the SPY up to the very top of this rising wedge formation that we have, giving us some more time to hang around in this formation before we happen to sort of settle back down for a little bit. So this can actually run for quite a while before we reach the peak of the formation. We'll see if we stick with it. That's room up to 530 when we look at that for SPY. When we go over to QQQ, man, we were just tumbling right out of this thing. You could see from the low wicks that the markets were trying to hang on. NVIDIA comes out, smashes earnings in the face, which according to my numbers, pulled forward from the quarter that I expected to the following quarter. Like it was like they almost skipped in what they had for revenue and profitability, like one quarter ahead of where they should have been. And so that's why we see the response that we did. And you can see that the market really did love and enjoy that, to say, hey, there's still some fuel in this fire left to go, that the tech stocks are not done yet. And so NVIDIA coming out today in the pre-market hours, kind of messing around with that 800 level that we have. So for that 800 level, so let me just put out a Fibonacci extension out here and take a look to see what that actually looks like for us. So what you can see is that we look at that and look like 805 could be about where we peak out for this thing when we look at the Fibonacci extension. So we'll see today, should we break up over that. We actually do have room on this up to about 830 in sometime in the near future. And if you actually go to my Patreon, check out my NVIDIA stock price prediction and earnings projection, and you take a look and see what I predict for the next 12 months for NVIDIA, and I'll be updating that with their earnings, you'll see that might not necessarily be the most unreasonable price that's out there, especially in light of the fact that they said that over the next 2 years, so 2024 and 2025, that they can still see strong demand for their products, and they're still going to maintain some healthy margins. Even if they're not necessarily as healthy as they have been the last 2 quarters, they're still going to be very, very strong in the mid-70s on a gross margin basis over the next 2 years. So that's pretty cool to see that happening. So moving on from there, over to the technicals that we have for Google. For Google, we're actually right now in a consolidation pattern. The important things to watch here are the trend lines where we break from this. We have the 50 SMA and EMA right at about 143.30. So should we break back down below that, then that could be a bearish thing for us, take us down to the 200 around 133. Right now we're above it. We broke down through it. We retested. Now we're up above. That could be a very bullish thing for us. The momentum is actually at a critical level too, that should we break up above that, then we have more room to the upside, and that could take us up to about 152. So be on the lookout for Google. Watch those trend lines that we have. Staying above the 50 is a bullish sign. Watch the momentum that goes along with it, that we could see a reversal of this tapering that you see in the momentum, back up into bullish territory from this bearish territory that we have. For Apple, we have a descending triangle pattern happening right now. We're going to have to watch and see. In the pre-market hours, we're still messing around at that 200 level. Should the 200-day level hold for us, that's a bullish thing, and we could head back up. Should we break that 200, that could lead to that death cross moment where the 50s eventually cross over the 200 and sell off down that way. Momentum in bearish territory, but rising. So we would be watching for that. Should we break the top trend line for this, we still have that 50-period EMA there in red to contend with. That is something that we want to watch for breaking up. Over 185 has been some pretty significant resistance for us, but should we be able to break through that, that could lead us back up into the 190s. Should we fall down through 180, which has been significant support for us, as you can see these last 4 times that we've found buyers every time, that could take us down to 175. So we need to be looking for that for Apple to see which way it's broken out of here. Watch the 200-day. That's going to be one of the big tells that we have. So staying above it, bullish, breaking down below it, bearish, leading to that death cross moment. So be on the lookout for Apple for those reasons. Tesla is right just messing around the middle of this thing for RSI as we look at this, that we're trying to cross up above that 50-day. If we do, we can take on 200, and then we have room all the way up to the 50, which is right at about 210. We got to be watching for that. So that's breaking through this top trend line here, and that means also the RSI moving up, crossing 50 into bullish territory, which can be a very strong sign for us. Should we fail to cross that 50 in the RSI and break back down to the bearish, it's possible that we retest this bottom trend line and we start heading back downward from there. And so right now in the pre-market hours at 195, we want to be watching Tesla. That could be something that pushes us back down to that 185, 180 level. Maybe we can go back down and revisit 175. For Tesla, if so, 175 I think is going to be a significant load zone for us that we would be watching for that one. So Tesla, be on the lookout for it. This Tesla is a company that I do have a long-term position in, that I am holding on to, and it is one that I keep on watching for those technicals, as I believe that they are very interesting for some trade plays that are out there as well. As a matter of fact, Google, Apple, and Tesla, all three of them I think are very interesting for trade plays at this moment. So we would be watching for those times to jump on in, whether it's in the upward or downward direction, bullish or bearish on those stocks. So if you guys want to see my buys and sells, you can do that using the link for the Patreon down in the description. Go ahead and click that, head on over and sign up. Not only do you see my buys and sells through the Discord that's over there, talk with me and my community members, but you can also get access to my options course that I'm building out over there as well. And then if you guys wanted to learn how to do technical analysis like I do, you can do so through the link that's down in the description as well. And then you get lifetime access to the course. There's also live sessions over there. And then I also have some chapters in this. As you look at it, I actually have I have an options chapter in this technical analysis trading course, as I do a lot with options. All right, guys. So let me summarize this thing. The markets got a little bit more juice in them. Thank you, NVIDIA, for that one. And we're going to have to watch and see what happens from here. I gave you 3 technical analyses on this for Google and Apple and Tesla that we want to be watching for those to see which direction they break for us, as that can lead to significant opportunities. Guys, if you want to see my buys and sells and how I'm playing this market, check out the link for that Patreon down in the description. You'll learn more about technical analysis and really up your trading game. Technical analysis course link is also down in the description. As always, guys, thank you for watching. I am Dr. Stock, Doctor of Education. Remember, my friends, that learning is earning, and we'll see you in the next video.